Namaste Krishna Rao, welcome to IYR Talks English edition. In this edition, we'll just try to evaluate, as you were right from the beginning, you were telling that whatever the tall claims or promises made by these political parties while going in for elections, or the assurances given by them are practicable or impracticable. So, this being the case, we have seen especially during the last term, Jagan Mohan Reddy made a lot of promises and borrowed money left, right and center, and left a lot of liability on the incumbent government, knowing that fulfilling those promises is very difficult. Party which is now in power, Telugu Desam, Janasena and BJP combined, of course BJP is not a part of the manifesto. They gave more promises than what Jagan Mohan Reddy has said, and today they are really facing the difficulty in trying to live up to the promises what they have made to the public. Now today they are in two minds as to how to explain to the public that these things cannot be done. Recently, after the Davos meet, Chandrababu Naidu returning back from Delhi, he has met Nirmala Sitaraman, but he convened a meeting in Amravati, also trying to mention the name of Niti Aayog, saying that the funds given by the Center for Capital Expenditure, that is for Amravati steel plant and for Polavaram, they cannot be diverted in no case. And so this year it takes time, that's what he said, he will not implement, it takes time to implement the education subsidy and also the food subsidy what he has promised, that is regular food scheme for the children and all that. So one by one he is trying to realize that is a difficult task, and I think it's in the right direction. He made people realize that what is practicable and what is impracticable. Still his promise of free bus subsidy for the woman is on the cards, and I don't know when he is going to do it. So in light of all this, because the state capital expenditure is going to be spent, economy has to develop, it has to earn income, it has to pay interest for all the loans what the previous government has done and raised. Taking all these things into consideration, is it still a practicable thing for Chandrababu Naidu to say that he can go ahead with all the promises what he has, that Super 6. I just want your opinion on that.
One, I think it was a good and a wise move to wriggle himself out of the manifesto promises. Because if he went ahead with the manifesto promises implementation, in any case it would never have given him a political dividend. He would have lost a lot of votes, but also money. In fact, if there is any one thing that 2024 elections have proved, they have proved that just by offering freebies, you may not win an election. You may not get a political mileage. That's what Jagan Mohan Reddy has proved. N.T. Rama Rao proved it long back, and this time he has again proved it. So this thing I used to tell, before the elections 2024, in a number of occasions, I shared my view on this, stating that N.T. Rama Rao, with all his charisma and populistic budget, freebies, giving left, right and center, emptying the treasury, getting state into a total bankruptcy, still failed to win the election in spite of all that. So if with that much of a charisma he failed, how do we expect Jagan Mohan Reddy to just ride back to power based upon freebies? So that's exactly what happened. When you start giving these freebies, because money is not limited, you give it to some, you hurt some other constituencies. The constituencies which are hurt will definitely go and vote against you. The constituencies which get the benefit may or may not vote. That's exactly what happened in 2024. The teachers, the employees, the pensioners who were all hit, they went and voted, but those fellows who took the freebies, some of them came and voted, some of them didn't come and vote. So this will happen. So 2024 is a landmark election result in my opinion, which proves just by spending public money freely by borrowing, you cannot win an election. So this is a realization, yes, they should have had when they prepared their manifesto. There's no doubt about that. Going back on a manifesto is a bad thing. But one thing, all parties all the time used to go back on manifesto. They used to say something in the manifesto and do something else as far as. Only this man, Jagan Mohan Reddy, I will make it into a Bible, Gita, Bible, etc., and through that got the whole state into a bankrupt mode. There is nothing like he's giving, only he can give an entity. There's no macho issue here. If you have a chance to borrow and then distribute, that anyone can do. Then you don't have any amount for your roads, no salaries for the staff, etc. So for him, yes, it's a better thing now to share the information and then get back rather than to go forward with it and become totally exposed, even for Chandrababu Naidu also. I'll give it a later date also. I don't think there's any chance, because what is the guarantee that you will be able to generate revenues to support that in future? Basically, on his way back from Davos, he did stop at Delhi, met the finance minister, where he might have pleaded for some additional assistance for revenue expenditure, which he should have refused, because they cannot just like that give it to one state. Capital, yes, they can jiggle and give it, but revenue they can't give it. So once that realization has come, then he came back to Amaravati and had this press conference where he was trying to show. In fact, that itself shows for the amount of debt that Jagan Mohan Reddy has incurred, the capital expenditure is a pittance, 2,000 crores, 3,000 crores per year. What does that mean? You borrow to distribute. That's a wrong way of going it for any government is concerned. So it's a good thing. I hope he sticks to that. Otherwise, he will also get into the same problem as Jagan Mohan Reddy got into. Same results, same thing as far as 2029 is concerned. But more importantly, it's time. In fact, I wish Nirmala Sitaraman made this an important item in her budget speech. A national debate on freebies and a consensus on that is very much needed in this country. And right thing would have been to start it as part of a budget speech and then take it forward. That is only one that can save all parties from this embarrassment. Or the Election Commission get into the act and insist that whoever gives a manifesto should budget it and show the resources where they come from and take Election Commission approval before publishing it. Then all parties, because you can promise the heaven, but you also should show the funds where you are going to. Then once you match it, half of your manifesto will get cut.
That's what a recent news item I have seen of Kejriwal promising 30,000 rupees as a freebie per month for each individual award.
So unless the Election Commission gets into the act and makes some such provision, this false promises in the manifesto and total failure in its implementation will continue in this country.
Let's hope the good sense will prevail between all the political parties. And thank you, sir. Thank you for the input.
Thank you.